All right. Hey, everybody. It's Erin Taylor, your Dish Diva, and coming to you from the Black Women's Health Imperative. And joining me today is Tiffany Phillips, and we are talking about heart health because February is Heart Health Month. So, welcome,
Yes,
Tiffany. How are you today?
I am doing well. And I see this was not coordinated, but what color are we both wearing?
Little Papa Red
Yes.
for our heart health.
Yes. Because I was like, well, why is the color red? Right. Because I thought that, one would assume, but I was like, well, let me just see what it says. And it's like because of the color of blood and the color of the heart. I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. So I
Okay.
know they have a Red Wear Day. The American Heart Association has a Wear Red Day. We've kind of passed that. So I think it's
Yeah.
like the first or second weekend in February, but it's okay.
Mhm.
We can still wear our red for Heart Health
Yes.
Month. All right.
Yes.
Well, just to kind of start us off, I mean, I know that, many things can affect the health of our hearts, right? And so it can be high cholesterol, high blood pressure, even unmanaged diabetes can lead to
Yes.
cardiovascular disease. And then you've also got like lifestyle habits like smoking and lack of sleep or like high stress levels that can affect
Mhm.
the heart health. And
Right.
so today, for our snack and chat, obviously we're going to be focusing on food, but it is also important to understand like that relationship between food and then some of the other aspects that may affect your heart. So we are going to hop right into this. And
Yeah.
first, I do want to ask you, what did you bring to share today to snack on?
So I had those women in mind, or men who are taking the program, because we do have some men. I had a man in one of my classes once, who take, and I had those in mind. Those women or men who are like, I go to work, I have to commute, I have to sit behind a desk. I want simple, easy.
Mhm.
So I just have a bowl of delicious blackberries.
Mm.
I love blackberries. And let me ask you, okay, I digress a little bit, Erin. When you're in the store and you're shopping for blackberries, do you open up the package and taste one out of it? Is that just me?
I've done that. I've done that with grapes. I don't think I've done that with blackberries before, but I am like looking at the package to make sure that none of
You
them are molded.
right, yes. And sometimes I feel like I get them home and they're sour and I want them to be
Mm.
sweet. So I was like, I just take one out. So if you're missing one of your blackberries in your package, I'm sorry. I did. I took it. I rubbed it on me, try to wipe, blow it a little bit. It's clean. And my husband's like, what are you doing? So I'm that girl.
Mhm.
So yes. So I bought some blackberries. And I also like when I'm eating fruit, I like to have a little crunch. So
Mhm.
I'll have like some almonds. I really like almonds. And so I'll just pop a blackberry, pop an almond. And so it's simple. It's packaged, it's easy. You can take it on the go. It doesn't take much prep. I just wash them with a little vinegar and water, spray them and wash them off, and you're good to go. It's easy, it's simple, and it's heart healthy. It's
Yes,
effective.
yes,
So
absolutely.
yes,
I love blackberries, and
I love
and we just bought some the other day, and oh my God, they were so sweet and so firm, and like me and my mom were like, oh gosh, oh
they just
they're so
melt in
tasty.
your mouth. They are
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
good.
They are. They are. So and I have had some that were a little bit more bitter, but usually if they're bitter, I'll just put them in like some yogurt or something just to kind of
Mm,
help so it's not just the bitter raspberry, or I'll eat it with some other fruit. Like something that may
okay.
be, sweeter like a mango or something, like in a fruit salad. But yeah,
Mm,
I
I
love a
like
good
that.
blackberry. Yeah.
Yes. And what did you bring? Let me see. What are you snacking on
Let's
today?
see. So I've been trying to do, I generally eat a salad with lunch for lunch,
Mm,
but I've just been sick of like having to make a salad every day. I mean, sometimes I do the jar salads, but then if I don't eat it that day, then they go bad fast. So
mm-hmm.
I started trying to just make a variety of salads that I can like put the dressing on and then just let it sit in the refrigerator for a few days. And then that way I just can grab and go. So what I have is it's a kale and red cabbage.
Mm.
And I think I put some carrots in there. I sliced up some peppers just because I had some that were about to go bad. Some red onion. And oops, let me get it in the camera so you can see all the pretty
Yes.
colors.
I know it's like
And
the rainbow.
and I think I added cucumber too because I just happen to have a cucumber. And what's sitting on the side is some sliced jicama, which I am obsessed with.
Ah,
So, and then I made a dressing. And so the dressing is just I don't know why we bought a whole bag of limes from Costco. Like, but we did. And it's like you have like 20 limes. Like, what are we gonna do with these? I wanted to buy a bag of limes, but I meant to get it from the grocery store, not Costco.
right.
I would have had a lot less. So I was like, I gotta use these limes. So I made a dressing with the lime. And squeezed some lime, some olive oil. I added a touch of mustard just to kind of get the
Ah,
oil and lime to mix, and a little bit of garlic powder and some fresh, like some Italian herbs in there.
oh, that
And it was
sounds
so
good.
tasty. It was yeah, and then maybe a touch of honey. I think I might add a touch of honey just to balance that bitterness.
Yes.
And it was so refreshing on the salad. So I love these because, those cruciferous vegetables, that cabbage and the kale, those are always have so many nutrients in it. So I'm just trying to make sure I'm getting my nutrients. I'm also trying to make sure I get the fiber because,
Yes.
sometimes you just kind of go through the day and you're like, gosh, did I eat enough fiber? Did I have anything
Hmm.
that had fiber? Was I everything like processed to the point where the fiber was non-existent?
Right.
So this is my way of just kind of having a grab and go snack or even
Hmm.
a lunch.
Hmm.
I think the next time I'll add in some chickpeas and will add in a little bit more fiber and protein to it as well.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and then with my jicama here, like jicama, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of jicama. It's J-I.
Yes. I know.
Because it's like a Spanish word, so it's Jicama. And they have coined it as the Mexican turnip. Sometimes, depending on where you are, like you may be able to find it in your regular grocery store. You may have to go to like a specialty store to find it. But what I love about it is it's kind of like a cross between a potato and an apple. But it's
Hmm.
got a little bit of juiciness. It's very refreshing. It's really good with cucumbers because they just kind of balance each other out
Balance it.
that
Oh,
refreshment. But one really good thing about these is that they are a negative calorie food. So
wow.
yeah, so that just means that when you eat this,
That
it takes more energy to break this down than there are calories in this bite of food.
So bring
Oh,
on all the jicama.
right.
And everybody's like, okay, where do I
Hey,
buy this?
mama. I know. And the way I
I
found this was at a Mexican restaurant one time. They had like a little
mm,
buffet, like for their happy hour. And I remember trying to be like, what is this? And I was in California, so it's like
mm,
everywhere.
of course,
But
yes.
I was like, this is amazing. And so I will make a jicama cucumber salad with a squeeze of lime, a little
Mm,
bit of salt, and like some cilantro in it. And it's a really nice, like, especially spring, summer, refreshing salad.
your
Oh, I love
salad.
it.
And
Yeah.
I've actually seen a recipe for jicama fries where people will
Mm-hmm.
chop them up and bake them.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, that's what I have, and nice high fiber food and lots of colors.
Mm.
So.
It is. And it's funny because we hear a lot about heart health, and it's just like,
Mhm.
okay, so why are these things important to heart health? Like, how is it that, eating foods and fiber per se is good for heart health? And just doing some of that research, just realizing that when you talked a little bit in the beginning about preventing diabetes.
Mhm.
And when you eat fiber, that helps to slow absorption of your food. So that's going to reduce the amount of blood glucose you have in your bloodstream at any one time, just eating that fiber. And I know
Mhm.
for me, when I think about heart health, fiber is not the first thing that comes to mind for me, but in reading up on it, I read that one cardiologist said that it is the number one, what was his number one underrated nutrient, fiber,
Wow. Wow.
for heart health.
Wow. Yeah.
And the blackberries, it's like a cup of blackberries is 8 grams of fiber.
Mm.
A serving of these almonds, it says they have 3 grams of fiber. And if women are to get 25 to 28 grams of fiber a day, you're like a third of the way there from a snack. You
Yeah.
know, so you have about, a few more to get, and you've hit your fiber intake for the day.
Hmm.
So it's important, looking at those the nutrient profiles of the food to see, well, how does this help? And I even read that it helps to manage your fiber helps to manage your blood pressure and to regulate your blood sugars, as we talked about. So it's just, and um, I had also talked about early on too that the American Heart Health has those 8 factors, right? That
Hmm.
helps to define what heart health is. And one of those was diet. And it's interesting that the number one thing is diet, in that just by changing the way we eat, we can help prevent some of these um, diseases related to
Yeah.
our hearts. Mhm.
Absolutely. And you made a good point too, because you were saying like the snacking, like you're already a third of the way just with the snack of getting the fiber that you need in a day.
Mhm.
And I think that's why we do this snack and chat because it's, the snacks you choose are important. And so when you're looking at snacking, you want to try to choose things that are going to be nutrient dense, high in fiber. They're going to
Yes.
be giving your body some sort of benefit. So instead
Mhm.
of grabbing those bags of chips or pretzels or something of that nature, look at what you can do with real food because obviously, like when you think about health in general, there's always kind of those same guidelines, right?
Yes, that's
Eat a
true.
variety of fruits and vegetables because that's where you're going to get the bulk of your nutrients.
Mhm.
Limit your processed food intake, limit the amount of sugar you're intaking, right? And
Mhm.
then also focusing on clean proteins. If
Mhm.
you're doing like hot dogs or sausages and lunch meat, like
Mhm.
those tend to be, they're highly processed. They have a lot of nitrates in it that can affect your health as well in a negative way. But looking at things like that could be easy grab and go, like the nuts
Mhm.
or beans or, even low fat dairy or fat-free
Mhm.
dairy things, so like Greek yogurt. And then, making sure you're focusing on that fish. There's a lot of like healthy fats that are included in fish that, so when we're
Yes.
looking at protein, that might be the way to go. So all of these health professionals and these associations and this research, those are the things that they're always focusing on. Like
Mhm.
just get the what you need from the food you eat that's minimally processed.
Mhm.
And like lower in salt, right? Like
So,
you don't
right.
need salt to flavor your food. There's so many other like
The,
seasonings out there that have health benefits
mhm.
that you can add flavor to the food. So I think and then of course then we've got like the limited alcohol intake and that sort of thing as
Yes.
well, right? So
Mhm.
health in general, like even though we're talking specifically about heart health, like this is going to help you with all aspects of your health,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know?
And I think it's to me it's eye-opening, or maybe maybe that's not the right term, but just to see how the Change Your Lifestyle, Change Your Life CYL Square program is aligned with all these different what, like you said, it stretches beyond the heart. Like it's the
Yeah.
same it's the same contents, or like the same roadmap or the same structure. We got a module on get active, like you get active, like how to eat, limiting your stress by getting enough
Mhm.
sleep and just all the things. So it's like if you are doing CYO Square, like you're already there. We are taking into account your heart health and your overall um, health just in
Mhm.
general.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. And so like even with our prevention program, because it's,
yeah.
it's focused on diabetes prevention, but if you're preventing diabetes, you're preventing a lot of other stuff.
Well, that's true.
Because again,
It's
it all falls into
yes.
the thing. Get some physical
Hmm.
activity, eat a little, choose, healthier, more nutrient dense foods, get that fiber, reduce your processed food. So I mean, it's just they
Yes.
all follow the same guidelines, right? So yeah, I
That
mean,
is
the
so true.
snacking becomes just as important. So, and it's interesting because you and I have we have different things. Like you have something that's like really grab and go. You have those
Yes.
blackberries where you can just wash them, you got them ready to go, and you got a packet of
Hmm.
nuts. And it's
Yes.
like I'm out the door.
Right.
And so I think you have to, when you're looking at snacking, you have to kind of look to see what's going to work into your schedule the best.
Yes. Yes.
And I think for me, like I love having a good salad at some point during the day. And so, like I said, I was getting tired of having to chop all this stuff for the salad each day. And sometimes that would keep me from eating the salad. Like, oh, I don't feel like I want to do
Hmm.
that right now. So doing it ahead of time and doing a hearty salad, which
Yes.
can sit for a few days with the dressing on it,
Yes.
is a is
Hmm.
a is a game changer for me. Because that's
Hmm.
not gonna work with the spring mix salad.
No.
You put the dressing on there and it's
Yeah,
like this wilted, soggy mess the
right.
next
You're gonna
day.
have like a slimy bowl of something.
Yeah. So it's
Yes.
important to get those things because, like those carrots, that red cabbage, that kale, those can
Hmm.
have that dressing sit on there for days and it still feels like you're eating something a little firm. Like it may be a little softer than it was in its rawest form, but now it's a little
Hmm.
bit firm, still has a little crunch to it. It's not
Yes.
soggy.
And
Yeah.
I feel like those types of salads, they are a little bit better. Like I feel like if you let coleslaw sit for a while, like it's
Mhm.
better days after. So you have like
Yeah.
that hearty red cabbage and kale, and the longer it sits to me, I feel like it absorbs more of those flavors. And so it
Hmm.
actually tastes better to me as it gets older.
Right,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, I
So
love
that
it.
just proves, wherever you are, like there is something for you. Like if you have 5 minutes to prep or if you have 20 minutes to prep, like there's something healthy you can have. I think what's the restaurant that says think outside the bun? I always say think outside the bag. What can you get outside of a bag of chips or like what?
Yep.
Let's think beyond that and see what can I eat that's fresh and nutrient dense. Yes.
Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely, absolutely. And I think when we're thinking of fiber too, I think some of the top ones are going to be like the beans and the lentils. And
Hmm.
then, like you said, the berries, the apples with the skin
Hmm.
on. And then
Yes.
you get soluble and insoluble fiber. And then, like bananas and avocado actually have a high amount of fiber too, which you don't think
Yes.
about. You think about that roughage and you're like, yeah, that's going to be pushing stuff through. It's going to be harder to digest. But even something like a banana or avocado, like avocado toast in the morning is like, I love it
Hmm.
with some
Hmm.
onion, some red onion on it. And we usually do like one of the breads that has like the nuts and seeds in it and stuff.
Yes, I like nuts.
So a nice hearty bread, some avocado on there, put some red onion, maybe some tomatoes. Sometimes if I have a hard boiled egg, I'll put that on top too. And then it's just like
Mm,
this perfect meal that and it's my breakfast and it doesn't seem like it's a lot, but it keeps me satisfied for quite a long time, surprisingly enough,
yes.
So yeah, I mean, and then like when it comes to some of the vegetables, the thing about artichokes, I know artichokes, we got to do a snack and check on artichokes
Yes, because
because
I'm not sold on artichokes.
right. And I think when I see them, I get really intimidated by that big old thing.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
we'll have to do one on there.
Okay.
But things like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, like last
Hmm.
week I made a salad with kale and Brussels sprouts.
Oh, yes. I like
Uh-huh.
those.
And did like a different, like a honey mustard dressing. Like it was pretty good. And then like sweet
Hmm.
potatoes, and you can eat the skins just like you can with like a regular like russet potato. And then like the leafy greens, kale,
Hmm.
spinach. I mean, you could use any of the, the arugulas. You could use any of those greens, collards and um, what's that one? Mustard greens. I mean, you can
Green.
use those, but there's a variety of leafy greens out there that you can use as well. And then, of course, also looking at like whole grain things.
Yes.
When it comes to bread, try to get the whole grain bread, and it like those nuts and seeds in it, that just kind of adds in some nutrients in it as well and more
Hmm.
fiber.
Hmm.
Um, Oats, I love a good bowl of
Oh,
oatmeal in the
yes.
morning, especially steel cut oats. Like now
Yes.
that I've eaten steel cut oats, I can't go back to like regular oats. It's hard.
And I love oat bran too. Like this
Yeah.
the Bob's brand. I mean, it puts me in the mind like cream of wheat, but
Yeah.
it's just has, oh, it's so good. I'm with you on those oats.
Yeah. Well, and then you can add, and then I always add in like berries
Yes,
and
yes,
nuts in there as well, or pumpkin
yes.
seeds. Pumpkin seeds are like one of my favorite.
Right.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
like you're still adding in some more of those nutrients, some more of those fiber, that more
Mm-hmm.
of that fiber. Like stay away from the packaged oatmeals because they're so full of
Yeah.
sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you're doing like pasta, like a whole wheat pasta,
Yes. A
and I know,
chickpea pasta.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then they've got those other types of pastas too that have
Mm-hmm.
the protein in it as well. And I would, with some of the cereals, I know they do that claim, like they claim that they're good for heart health. And,
I know.
the thing about those cereals is that they are still very processed, those box
Mm-hmm.
cereals. So you really do
Mm-hmm.
have to read the labels and
Yes.
just kind of see what kind of fiber content it is in there. Where's the sugar
Mm-hmm.
content at, that sort of thing, because these can get a little ridiculous.
Yes, they can. And I'm glad you brought those whole grains up too, because I think sometimes I don't know, I feel like carbs sometimes get a bad name or a bad
Yeah,
rep. Like you can't
yeah.
have any carbs, but it's not like it's what the type of carb you're eating. The
Mhm.
potato chip, or you're gonna have, something more
The
a whole
potato.
food. Yes. Right. Like they're not the enemy. Like whole grains are important to a balanced diet.
Yeah,
And a lot of those
absolutely.
whole grains have the fiber in them as well. Like
Yeah.
you're saying, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, and I think one thing that a lot of people kind of the misconception is that, carbs are always like the breads, the pastas, the things like that. But the blackberries, the
It's a
kale,
carb.
the carrots, the red peppers, those are all carbs too.
Yeah.
So you really
Mm-hmm.
do have to you have to, understand that this white bread over here versus this is a carb
Mm-hmm.
versus this salad or this bowl of blackberries, that's a carb too. Which do you think is going to give you better health? Which do you think is
Right.
going to fill you up? Which is going to
Mm-hmm.
keep you satisfied for a long time? So those are the kind of things you want to think about. Carbs are not the enemy. It's the
Mm-hmm.
type of carb. So if you are living with diabetes, yeah, you're concerned about the carbs because those are the ones that are going to raise your blood sugar. But that fiber content is what's going to
Yeah.
help keep it from shooting up.
Yes, that slow absorption.
So
Yes.
again, that salad versus that white bread, woo,
Yes.
you're gonna have a totally
Yes.
different effect. It's gonna have a totally different effect on your blood sugar level.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like some other like snack ideas though, like I love popcorn and I love making it myself. So
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be a high fiber food as well. And you can make it a lot healthier when you make it yourself. You can I usually do a little coconut oil or maybe like some avocado oil, depending on what flavor I want on there. And then I take some of my like herbs and put it on the
Mm.
popcorn, or like I have a garlic and herb seasoning that's salt free
Oh,
and I'll
that's
put it on
easy.
there. Yeah. Or I
Mm.
love a little nutritional yeast on there.
Yes. Uh-huh. I love
Um,
that too. Gives them like a
yeah.
cheesy
Yeah.
flavor vibe.
hmm
Yes.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that snacking thing, like and it's fun because I got a popcorn maker, so me and my son can make it. So it's always like kind of a, yeah, we're gonna make some
There's
popcorn,
popcorn.
and
Do you
then
have like an air popper? Air popcorn
it's
popper?
a, I don't know. Yes, I think.
Mm-hmm. Does it require oil? Do you have to put oil in it to pop it?
Well, it's like a little pan.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little bar that goes around, so it pushes the popcorn, and you put
Oh,
this like dome over top of
dome
it.
on bread. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
And so I
Mm.
do put a little bit of oil on the bottom, and then it
Mm-hmm.
just starts to pop, and it pops into there, and then you turn the whole thing over, and now it's in the
Oh, you
little
have
in
your
the dome.
bowl.
Yep.
Ah,
And so then we sprinkle in our stuff, and we eat our popcorn.
your
Yeah,
popcorn.
yeah.
Hmm.
I love it. I love it. And it's fun. It's just a fun activity for me and my son to do, who's turning 6 tomorrow.
Oh,
Um, I know.
already.
But he loves like going in every time I'm in the kitchen, he's like, "Can I help? Can I help?" So
Uh,
it just makes it, an activity for us to do as well, because of course I want to make sure he's got some healthy habits,
it's right. And I
but
think that increases that buy-in too. Like
hmm
you're more willing to try something that you created yourself versus something
yeah.
like, eat this.
hmm
Like, I helped make this. Yes.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, I think also one thing that we have to think about is, sorry, there's like a little gnat flying around here. What we have to think about is that, if you're trying to increase your fiber, which is kind of the direction we're talking in, right?
Yes. It
Increase that fiber,
is.
is that you also want to increase your water intake.
Uh,
And you may want to increase the fiber gradually.
yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
Because if you do it all at once, you may get constipated. But just thinking about fiber in general, it's something that our bodies don't digest. Like we'll extract nutrients and all of that stuff from that food we're eating, but we won't necessarily digest it. So we don't want it to get stuck in our system.
Right.
So drinking that water is going to help that some of the fiber like absorb some of the water and help push things
Hmm.
through.
Too
So that's
bad.
why you have those two types of fibers, insoluble and soluble.
Soluble.
And so both of them kind of one helps to add bulk, and the other one helps to like help push things through and
Hmm.
absorb, some of that water and help push things through. So you want both. And that's why I say keep that skin on the apple.
Yeah.
Because you get both with that skin. And things like cucumbers and stuff, like the skins are always going to be good to eat,
Eat.
even though I know
Yes,
sometimes we get in the habit of just taking them off, but they are good to eat
they
for that
are.
reason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm. All right. So with the heart health, I mean, I don't know. Anything else to add? I'm gonna take a bite of my salad.
Mm. I will
Mm.
say something that I found interesting. If you look at like the packaging, sometimes like on these almonds here, there's this little certified heart health little label from the American Heart Association, and it says certified. It meets the criteria for a healthy heart food. And so I was curious about that. So let me look this up and see what is the criteria for a heart healthy food that the American Heart Association follows. And the things that they look about is, how much of it has a bad fat. So products must have 1 gram or less of saturated fats. We know saturated fats are not good for you. Cholesterol, it has to be 20 milligrams or less to get this little label. Sodium has to be limited. It has to be nutrient dense with some vitamins in it, and minerals, fiber. Products that contains hydrogenated oils cannot be, even partially hydrogenated oils can't get this label or stamp of approval from the American Heart Association. And there are like certain types of foods that the label can apply to, like fruits and vegetables and nuts and meats and seafood. So I thought that was interesting that they are mindful of these things, and they're kind of, but I always still say look at the label on the food, because like you were saying about some of those cereals, some of those will have like a heart healthy um branding on it. It's too. I'm not sure if they have like this particular label, but I know sometimes I see a cereal there that most people associate with heart health, but like you say, it's still processed,
Mhm.
regardless of, yeah, it may meet all these criteria, but something that's more whole food is probably going to be better for you than something that they've created
Yeah.
um, in a lab. So
Mhm.
but it's good they are trying to make steps forward to make it easier on us. But I always say, still flip it over. I've
Yeah.
heard it said that the front of the package is for what do they say? It's almost like it's marketing, like in the
Yes.
back of it is for information.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
so still do that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just thought that that was interesting that they are trying to create some criteria around it,
Mm-hmm.
to help kind of pinpoint those foods that are good for you and others that may not be so good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
That's a really good point. And so to look out for those labels. But
Hmm.
always look at the back.
Yes.
And to your earlier point too, within our CYL squared programs, we do talk about labels and label reading and
Yes.
how to read the labels and how to understand them because it can be a little confusing because sometimes it's just a series of numbers. And
Yes.
so knowing that as a woman, you should get like 25 grams of fiber per day. When
Hmm.
you're looking at those labels, you can look at that now. Let me see how much fiber is in this, and so if
Right.
I eat a cup of this, oh, cool, I'm already getting 10 grams of fiber, so it means that
Right.
during the rest of the day, now if that was breakfast, you can keep working on getting that fiber, but you may exceed that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yes.
like if you keep going in that same direction, you may exceed that. So, then make sure you're drinking the water.
Hmm.
So you don't get backed up. But yeah, I
Right.
mean, and I mean it's so easy to add some of those things into some of the things we're eating. So as we talked about, like the oatmeal, even if you have a little bit more of a processed oatmeal, add in some of those nuts. So if you
Yeah.
are eating those packets of oatmeal that may be high in sugar, add in like those nuts, seeds, something like chia seeds, flax seeds. Those are going to be
Yes.
really good, high in fiber. They also provide some protein.
Hmm.
Those flax seeds also help with menopause and some of those
Hello.
hormonal effects of menopause. And so do
Right.
those beans. So, I mean, adding beans, nuts, like I think just about everything, like every time I eat something, I'm like, oh, I need some crunch. So, pumpkin seeds, that
Yes.
jar of
Yes.
sprouted pumpkin seeds I get from Costco that go on
Hmm.
everything pretty much, or like
Yes.
sliced almonds. You just always have the option of adding that little bit of crunch, and those go on my salads, they go on my oatmeal. Sometimes even my grits. I will say I've ventured into like sometimes adding a little crunch to my
Oh
grits.
my goodness. Yes.
Uh-huh. So, there's the sky's the limit with those things. Just make sure you have
Yes.
them available in your cabinet that you can add pecans. If
Yes.
my husband makes pancakes, I'm like, okay, I pull out the jar of pecans because I got to put some
Right.
pecans on there. So, I mean, like you may have a highly processed carb, but let's
Right.
add in some of that fiber and protein to it to help
Right.
balance it a little bit more.
Right. Let me chop an apple and do like an
Hmm.
apple pecan, compost something on top. Put it,
Yeah.
because I think sometimes when you're trying to eat healthy, we tend to focus on what can I subtract, taking things away.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
mindset. What I can I not have, instead of like, okay, let's flip that mindset and say, what can I add?
And that's
That's
a
going
great place
to
to start.
Yes. What can I add to make this more nutritious? So it's like
Hmm.
whatever meal you're eating, watching this right now, just think about that. Or are you planning for dinner tonight? It's like, what can I add to make this
Yeah,
more nutritious?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is a wonderful place to start because otherwise it gets
Yeah.
overwhelming. And
Yes.
for all of us, even for us who like eat healthy, a lot of the times it's still overwhelming. I mean, I struggle with that too, with just time.
Yes.
Having a young child and then kind of working until the time that he's home and then kind of dealing with him and like trying to keep him occupied or playing with him. Like it just goes and like my days just sort of
You
like
run
the hours
together.
just run
Mm-hmm.
together.
Mm-hmm.
So, really having the mindset to be like, okay, this stuff is available. At least I can just throw something on. I mean,
Right.
there's times when we've had corn dogs and because that's what's in the freezer. And it's like, well, okay,
Right.
we'll warm up a corn dog, but oh, look, I got like carrots, I've got
Yeah.
some jicama, and I've got some hummus that I'm eating with it. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So it's like
Mm-hmm.
always trying to get that balance. Or we have pizza.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Let me
about to say.
slice up some tomato because we'll get one from Costco because they're so cheap. But you slice up tomato and I'll throw on some like garlic and
Like,
warm it
yes,
up in the oven and then eat it with a little bit of a salad. Like I just try to
yes,
make sure that there's something to balance it out. So
yes.
yeah, that's perfect what you're saying is like think of ways to add some health to it. How can you add a
Mm-hmm.
little bit more health to this meal,
Mm-hmm.
or this
Mm-hmm.
snack? So if you have the
Right,
bag of chips, what else are you gonna eat with it?
right. Mm-hmm. Right.
You know what I mean? Like what are you gonna have with it
Hmm.
that's just gonna help just give it you're gonna have a bag of chips with some carrots or have a bag of chips with guacamole. I mean, even
Right.
something like that is gonna add, you got that fiber, you got those healthy fats, and then you're usually adding in, onion and garlic, which are great like for digestion and
Yes.
just kind of give it a little bit more thought and, yeah,
Yeah.
there's ways to just to help balance it and to
Mm-hmm.
help get started with that.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes.
I
Yes.
love it. I love it.
Me too. I just love it. I can talk about it all day.
I know, I know, I know. I know, but I think we'll probably end it there because I think we filled everybody's heads with a lot of information, and I'm hoping that they were good takeaways for
Mm,
you guys that are watching. I hope it was good information that you're able to apply to your
yes.
lives right now. And if you have any suggestions for any future Snack and Chat episodes, or if you want us to talk about something else altogether, we are here for it. So give
Yes.
us your suggestions. You can reach me at etaylor@bwhi.org, and that's E for Aaron, last name Taylor, Taylor, at bwhi.org. And if you're interested in learning more about our programs, just wait until the final when this is done, and you'll see a screen come up and it'll show you our website, and you can go on there and learn more about our CYL Square programs, which stands for Change Your Lifestyle, Change Your Life. We've got a few programs in there that can help you prevent diabetes and other chronic diseases, as well as help you manage diabetes if you're living with diabetes currently. So, thank you guys for watching.
Yes. Thank
We
you.
always have fun talking about me and Tiffany can talk about food.
Yeah.
We always
Yes.
have fun doing it. So
Can you tell we love food?
yeah, so let us know if you need some
Yes.
support with it. Thanks for watching, guys. Until the next time, next month we'll see you
Bye.
in March and maybe
Yes.
doing some artichoke. But bye for now.
Bye.